attending this event this evening. As you know, we're doing the presentation of the 2020 Pat Jewett Volunteer Appreciation Award. We're very fortunate to have Pat with us this evening. And we also have some recipients of previously received this award with us this evening. Linda Peoples, I thought I saw Linda here. Thank you, Linda. Margaret Perrin, thank you very much. And Jason Brennan. So again, we have this annual ceremony. I believe this is our 6th annual ceremony. And obviously the purpose of this event is to recognize a citizen that has just done outstanding community service for many, many years. They've done something exceptional in our town. So it's a time that the community recognizes that, but it's also a chance for the town and the community to recognize everyone that contributes in either in groups, individually, and that's what makes Litchfield such a great place, because everyone is doing something. If you drive around, you'll see that Litchfield is just an exceptional community, and it doesn't just happen with your tax dollars. It's a lot of sweat equity by volunteers. So before we get into the formal presentation of this year's recipient, which is Heidi Hale Miller, and Heidi, there you are. Thank you. I'm going to ask Selectman Lemire to lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next I'll ask Selectman Schaefer to come up and give us a little history on the Pat Jewett Award and what it's all about.
I can't believe that this is 2 pages and that's it. It should be a heck of a lot longer, but this is a quick snapshot. The Pat Jewett Volunteer Appreciation Award is given annually on or around the beginning of March to a Litchfield resident who has demonstrated extraordinary commitment to public and community service, and who also is possessing of those same characteristics of Patricia Jewett that cemented her legacy of public and civic services into the annals of town history. Who is Patricia Jewett? Patricia Jewett, also known as Pat, was recognized on March 1st, 2014 by the Board of Selectmen for her nearly 5 decades of community and public service in Litchfield, and for devoting countless volunteer hours to groups and individuals in order to make their projects and quality of life in town better. Here's a long list of stuff, but Pat has served on numerous civic and community boards, such as the trustee of the trust funds, Conservation Commission, Nashua Regional Solid Waste District, Welfare Officer, Community Council of Nashua, Planning Board, School Board, and the Board of Selectmen. She always made herself available to residents, dedicating hours of personal time and quietly spending her own resources to assist those in need. She was and still is considered a driving force in Litchfield, organizing many annual community activities and events, such as the annual school supply drive and the holiday basket program. As a wife of a veteran, she endeavored to honor Litchfield residents who served our country in the past by organizing the annual Pearl Harbor Day recognition and revitalizing the World War II Veteran Recognition Plaque at Town Hall. She continues to support those who serve today by organizing holiday gift packages for our local men and women serving in the armed services. Pat is known to all as a truly dedicated, frugal, and selfless volunteer who loves her community. Her only request is that for others to get involved and help people who need it. The Board of Selectmen are grateful for the opportunity to participate in an event such as this, as to keep Pat's vision alive. Thank you.
Good evening. The 6th annual Pat Jewett Volunteer Appreciation Award recipient is Heidi Hale Miller. For those of you who do not know her, I had a chance to speak with her about this award and would like to give you some insight as to who she is. First, I would like to acknowledge and thank 3 people who nominated her for this award. Steve Calloway, Marion Colby, who's not with us tonight, and Kim Queenan. Each of these nominations had a list of Heidi's volunteer activities and accomplishments and a lot of high praise that went along with them. At the end of my meeting with Heidi, she left me with this thought when I asked her why she does all that she does. She said, "It feels good to do good, and there is a lot of good that Heidi has done for our town." Well, let me tell you about some of the good that Heidi has done. Heidi is basically a lifelong resident of Litchfield. She is married to Greg for 32 years and has 1 son, Seth. She grew up in Litchfield, moved away for a bit, and then returned home. Her mom was also very active in town, and her dad owned a farm on land that is now the Pescanoway Golf Course. Her family owned and operated Natticook Farm for many years. Part of this operation included a roadside farm stand. Her childhood is filled of memories, playing in the farm, gathering cows that may have escaped from equestrian farms, and attending many town events such as Grange suppers and church services where everyone, old and young alike, would attend. As the years progressed, the days of playing on the farm and rescuing cows turned into her attending Plymouth State College and obtaining her Bachelor of Science degree in art education for grades K through 12 in 1997, and eventually obtaining her master's degree from Lesley College in 1999 in curriculum and instruction, creative arts and learning. During this time, in 1981, she began working as an art teacher at Griffin Memorial School for grades 1 through 8. In 1988, her teaching career extended to Litchfield Middle School, where she instructed over 948 students between both schools. In 1995, she went back to teaching only at Griffin Memorial. Her professional art career is impressive, resulting in her achieving the Art Educator of the Year Award in 2004, as well as the Eddie's Award, both exemplifying her excellence in education. She presented art workshops at the NHAEA, the New Hampshire Art Educators Association conferences. She eventually retired in 2016. Many children were blessed to have received their art instruction from her. Her talent and creativity as an art teacher inspired her to share her gifts with our town. During her time as an educator, she volunteered for many activities outside her role as a teacher. In 1988, she was responsible for the Voting Booth Mural Project, where she worked with various children in town to spruce up the old voting booths. A group of 8th graders under her direction created murals of New Hampshire history, Litchfield Farms, the Challenger, the Statue of Liberty, the town seal, and they were all quite the works of art. These murals are now housed at the Historical Society as a result of Heidi obtaining sponsors to frame and preserve them. She also worked with John Kindle to frame and restore prints of tall ships of both Griffin Memorial School and Litchfield Memorial School. She was involved with Crafters at Work and various art shows. She currently operates an art camp during the summer, where all of the proceeds are donated back to her church, the Litchfield Presbyterian Church, and the Litchfield Historical Society. This camp also provides an opportunity for a Campbell High School student to complete his or her senior project. At the Aaron Cutler Memorial Library, she stencils the children's room and has volunteered her time with the summer reading program. That's a lot of good, and there's more. Heidi was also involved in the 250th and 275th Litchfield celebration, designing floats and organizing an art show, as well as putting together a Litchfield calendar. Just last year, she helped organize a bicycle parade for those over 50 for our Memorial Day parade. She also participated in the LEA Carnation fundraisers for over 25 years, as well as donating her time to the Volunteer Appreciation Committee. That's a lot of good. And there's more. In her spare time, she assisted with the ski club for children for over 9 years. She was also part of the Master Plan Implementation Committee, as well as a member of the School Board Subcommittee, whose task was to look over building proposal for the town school. The good just keeps on coming. She is actively involved in the Litchfield Presbyterian Church, where she currently serves as a deacon. In addition to her role and many hours spent as a deacon, she still finds time to help with crafts for Bible school and volunteers her time to the Quilters Group. She's also the co-chair of the Strawberry Festival in town, one of the town's most favorite activities. She helps organize craft fair and is part of the church's choir. She assists with the White Elephant Table at her church and coordinates various yard sales to help those in need. Those in need may also see her at the food pantry, where she volunteers her time to help prepare the Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas baskets, as well as the harvest dinner. She volunteers her time with back-to-school drive collection and care packages for our veterans. That's a lot of good, and there's more. She also shared her creativity and talent as a member of the Litchfield Historical Society. She created the town seal that we use today, and I had to put the town seal right on here so everybody can see it, right? This town seal contains the current Historical Society building, which at that time at the time the seal was created was the town hall. The seal also contains the Merrimack River and corn, which both are part of the agricultural aspects of our town. She included a Native American to represent the Natticook tribe that lived and thrived along the Merrimack, which again happened to be the name of Heidi's family farm, the Natticook farm. She was active in the restoration of the Grange Hall theater curtains after the Grange suffered a fire in 1981. The curtains were found in a barn and restored with her help and are at the Historical Society today. She helped paint a sign for Litchfield Middle School. She advocated for the creation of the Heritage Commission that the town now enjoys. That's a lot of good, Heidi, and there's still more. One of her most recent and what some feel is her most significant contribution to the town is her work in helping getting 5 Litchfield buildings on the New Hampshire Historical Register. Without her help and creativity in taking pictures and the like, these important pieces of Litchfield history may never have been preserved. I would like to read from the November 5th, 2019 press release from the New Hampshire Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, the New Hampshire Division of Historical Resources. For the first time, 5 buildings from Litchfield have been added to the register. They are located consecutively next to each other on Route 3A, creating a town center that has served most community functions for generations. The properties include the Gothic Revival Litchfield Presbyterian Church, 1844, Greek Revival Town Hall, 1851, the Tudor Revival Aaron Cutler Memorial Library, 1924, the Colonial Revival Griffin Memorial School, 1930, and the mid-20th century Litchfield Fire Station, that's 1958. Each building tells a story in a piece of Litchfield's history and an integral part to the development of Litchfield's identity, contributing to the town's social fabric by serving as places for community gatherings, celebrations, education, and more. That's really good. She credited her mom, Candace Morrill Hale, who was also a shining example of volunteerism, with teaching her about giving back to the community and installing in her a good work ethic. I would like to take a brief moment just to describe her mother. Her mother was raised on Colby Farm here in Litchfield, joined the United States Cadet Nurse Corps, and served as a nurse during World War II. She held many positions in town, such as a Sunday school teacher, an elder, a trustee for the Parker Trust Fund, clerk of the session for 26 years at the Litchfield Presbyterian Church, a member of the Grange, a founding member and secretary of the Litchfield Historical Society, trustee and secretary of the Aaron Cutler Memorial Library, president of the Hillcrest Cemetery Association, just to name a few. As you can see, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Heidi and her family have made quite the impact on our town and many who reside here, including Mr. Steve Callera, who I'd like to ask to come up next to speak about his nomination for Heidi.
Ken Quayman's going to speak
Everything's, can you hear me now? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight's award ceremony as we congratulate Heidi Hale Miller, winner of this year's Pat Jewett Volunteer Appreciation Award. My name is Kimberly Queenan. I am one of the individuals who nominated Heidi Miller for this award. What may be a surprise to some of you in this room is that I have not known Heidi for a long time. As a matter of fact, the first time I met Heidi is when I joined the Litchfield Historical Society 4 years ago. However, in those 4 years, I have had numerous opportunities to work with Heidi on different projects and events. Some were fun, some were more difficult, and some felt like they were never going to end. But through them all, one, we became friends and remain good friends. Second, one cannot help but notice when being around Heidi how caring she is and how many contributions she has made throughout the community. In the 4 years that I have known Heidi, I will name just 10. They are, and we're going to have a little bit of repetition, but Heidi Miller created the Litchfield, New Hampshire Town Seal. This seal appears in the town hall and is on all our official town correspondence. It is shown on the town's emergency vehicles and the welcome to Litchfield signs on the Charles Bancroft Highway, donated by Patricia Jewett, and now is proudly shown on the new Litchfield town flag, just to name a few. And is Matt here? I thought I saw Matt, who created the town flag. Thank you very much, and thank you, Heidi. In typical Heidi Miller fashion, she is humble about this. Thank you, Heidi, because this town seal will serve Litchfield for many future generations. The second contribution, Heidi Miller became an art teacher to give school children a chance to experience art, an opportunity that she did not have. When I asked Heidi when did she become interested in art, she responded, I always liked drawing and coloring in elementary school, but we did not have an art teacher. In the 4th grade, our regular classroom teacher liked art, so she set up one art activity per week on Fridays. In the 7th and 8th grade, I joined the decorations team. We would use colored paper to make items for the bulletin boards in the hallway and for the dances. She also said she liked illustrating all of her school projects, whether the teacher required it or not, all through school. She stated that art made learning fun for you. She said the teachers always wrote comments on the illustrations that I added to her written schoolwork that she enhanced the projects. And it was not until her senior year that there was an opportunity for Heidi to take an elective called Art 1. When it came time for college, Heidi explained to her parents that she wanted to learn about art, and she did earn her degrees. When I would ask her what her goal was of becoming an art teacher, she would say, I just wanted to inspire my students to enjoy art, and hopefully they would want to pursue it after they were done with my class. If I was inspired, I knew I could inspire the kids. So Heidi, over the last 35 years, you have taught art class to thousands of Litchfield students, K through 8. Thank you very much, and we know you have inspired many to go forward. Number 3, in recent years, Heidi Miller has offered an annual art camp for the Litchfield children ages 9 through 12. She personally donates her time and all of the art supplies the children will use during the 1-week camp. She also generously donates all the art camp tuition she receives, half to your church and half to the Litchfield Historical Society. Heidi provides an opportunity for the Campbell High School senior to assist with the art camp, allowing them to complete their 40-hour senior project, a requirement for graduation. Again, many more ways Heidi gives back to her community. Number 4, Heidi is a member of the Litchfield Historical Society. Heidi helps with the Memorial Day services. She also helps with any projects the Litchfield Historical Society takes on. One key project she helped with was that she did some of the work on the restoration of the Grange Hall Theater curtains. Once they were restored, she helped organize the unveiling of the curtains at the Campbell High School auditorium. And again, we heard earlier, you set up the bike decorating contest last year for 50 and older bike riders to ride them in the parade, and the winners received prizes and all was done in fun. But I think you won first prize, if I recall. Number 5, Heidi Miller helps the Litchfield Presbyterian Church prepare and hold the annual Strawberry Festival. When the strawberries from the local farms are ready, she and the church members prepare the strawberries, bake the biscuits, cook the food for this traditional small town festival. Heidi also organizes 2 local craft fairs in town. This is number 6. The first is the Strawberry Festival Craft Fair, which allows several Litchfield vendors a chance to sell their items during the Strawberry Festival. And the second is the annual River's Edge Craft Fair held at the Griffin School in November. And the community looks forward to purchasing local homemade quality craft items for themselves or holiday gifting. Number 7, in the fall of 2018, Heidi and other Litchfield Historical Society members helped the Litchfield Planning Board. She was a core team member helping with the planning board's new community design master plan chapter. She helped with many of the ideas, including drawing up a proposed prototype of an old town center, historic River's Edge Park, to be located across from the Litchfield Presbyterian Church to the Old Town Hall and muster grounds. Her eighth contribution. Heidi Miller and other Litchfield Historical Society members worked diligently to successfully have the 5 Litchfield buildings placed onto the New Hampshire State Register of Historic Places. The 5 buildings were mentioned earlier. Heidi took all of the photos needed for each of those buildings. She also helped with the meticulous application process. Number 9, Heidi Miller loves Litchfield. As another creative venture, Heidi makes these wooden hand-painted miniatures of the historic Litchfield buildings and the trolley car. You can see she made the Griffin School, the Griffin Tavern, the Old Town Hall, the Litchfield Presbyterian Church, the trolley car in the library, and most recently the old fire station, Gristmill and Grange Hall. There's such a demand for them, so she is keeping busy filling her orders. And number 10, Heidi Miller is about family and friends. Heidi was raised in Litchfield. Her family worked together on the Natticook farm, and they were very close. They are still very close today. The same can be said about her friends that she has known from childhood onward. So in closing, Heidi, we appreciate all you have done for Litchfield. You are a caring person who has made so many contributions to our community. I have listed only 10. And thank you and congratulations to my friend Heidi Miller.
I don't know what else to be said. Except thank you, Heidi, from the bottom of our hearts, from all the citizens of the town of Litchfield.
Next, no need for introduction, but we'd like to introduce Pat Jewett, who, as Selectman Schaefer described, was the inspiration for this award and is a lady who exemplifies volunteerism and civic duty in all that she does, a role model for everyone. Pat.
Oh, hang on. You can hang on to me too. Thank you, thank you. This was happened when you get to be 92 years old. So don't get to be 92. It's awesome. I never thought it would be this bad. But thank everybody for coming. I think this is a wonderful event. And I said, it's so good to see some of the people that I haven't been able to see for quite a while. And it always brings back good memories. And somebody said to me, Pat, what do you like best in your life? What do you miss the most? And after I said, well, as everybody knows, my husband was outstanding and wonderful and kind and helped me on every project I did. And then my students in school, I miss that so much, 30 years, and I just wish I could be back and teach. And then the community of Litchfield and all the people that helped us, because there's no one person could do it alone. If I mentioned, well, gee, I need the help on packing boxes for the servicemen, I'll call 3 or 4 people and I will get every one of them. You never say, no, Pat, I can't do it. I won't do it. No, they don't do that. Because if they do, I say to them, hey, listen, you're a lot younger than me. And if I can do it, you can do it.
That's right.
So my philosophy was Jewett can do it and Jewett will do it. But I'm afraid of at the end. And then Linda looking through her camera.
Yes.
If I hadn't been for Linda in the car, I probably would have been killed. On November 2nd, we were getting ready to go to the church fair. It would sell this year at Griffin Memorial. And so when we got down on Hillcrest Road, some of those trees are over, light and dark, and all. It was a very nice, warm day. And a fellow, not us, it was somebody else that ran into us, and it hit on Linda's car and smashed in the whole side. And then it pushed I was sitting in a passenger seat, pushed me right around, and I hit a telephone pole, and they had to put a new telephone pole. But it was something I'll never forget. And I'm still in the nursing home. Can you believe? Ugh. I'm getting out tomorrow, hell or high water. To get out. And I can't stay any later than 9 o'clock. I have to be back in. So, and I couldn't get my shoes on, so I had just my socks on. Oh, it was something, honest. What?
They're still in the car that you wrecked.
No. They're in my locker at the nursing home. Oh boy, I'll never be so happy as to get out of there. I've never been tied down to anything I didn't like to do. And I thought, oh, this is awful. What did I do, or what did Linda do to cause me to be like this? But anyway, I'm getting out. But my feet are so swollen still that I can't keep shoes on. So anyway, I'm going to do it hell or high water. I'm going to make it.
good.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for helping me all those years on all those projects. But I'm trying to settle people down, say, would you please take chairman next year? Would you please do this? Would you please? Because I feel like I'm letting the town down. And I really love Litchfield. And I said, boy, I don't know. I can't. But anyway, thanks again for coming. And thanks to Heidi for all she's done and all the rest of the workers and volunteers, because it means a lot. That means more to me than anything. Somebody said, why do you like it? I just love helping people. And I'm not going to be able to do much more. After all, you get a whole for everything. So I hope you'll help whoever continues on. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye now.
She sent me a conservation school. I'm going to come back with.
Thank you, Pat.
I have to be back there by 10 o'clock.
Linda, what time was it? 9 or 10?
Thank you, Pat. So, thank you, Pat. And again, during my time with Heidi in preparation for this evening, again, she shared with me the reasons she does what she does. It feels good to do good. Well, Heidi, you've done good, real good, and you have done more than good. The citizens of Litchfield feel your goodness, see your goodness, and future generations will know your goodness. So we thank you not only for your goodness, but for your greatness that has touched so many. Heidi, the people, the community, and the town of Litchfield truly appreciate your service to our town and would like to award you the 2020 Pat Jewett Volunteer Appreciation Award. Very nice.
Goes on your headstone.
For rock solid volunteer service and commitment to our community, 2020. Pat Jewett, Volunteer Appreciation.
I thought that was for you. Thank you very much. But coming and thank you for the gifts.
Oh,
I have almost enough flowers so I could put them on my grave.
I knew she was going to it. I knew it. She's good. She's good.
thank you all for coming tonight. Pat, I'm so happy that you could be here tonight. It was kind of We didn't know.
I have to go back there.
Yeah. It is an honor to receive this recognition, which was first awarded to Pat, inspired by her many, many years of outstanding contribution to volunteerism in the Litchfield community. I congratulate and acknowledge other recipients before me: Margaret, Barry, Linda, Jason, who have all served and are still serving beyond and for the betterment of our town. Laura, Kevin, and Troy, thank you for the call and review of nomination letters and the personal phone call to inform me that I had been nominated and selected. I kind of almost had a heart failure that day because it was Kevin's name coming up on my phone. And then a woman was on the other end, and I was like, did something happen to Kevin? What a surprise. And thanks again, Laura, for meeting with me one evening prior to this event. Stephen and Kim and Marion, who isn't with us tonight, thank you for your nomination letters, and your words tonight were amazing. Thank you. You three amigos must have been plotting this together. I really had no idea. I truly appreciate your recognition of my volunteer endeavors. I am forever grateful to my parents, JD and Candace Hale, both who have passed, my husband, Greg, my son, Seth, his wife, Hannah, my sister, Pam, her husband, Lee, and all of their family, the nieces and nephews galore, my brother, Jay, other family, many friends, many friends, many teachers, and fellow colleagues, all who have influenced the person that I am, all who have supported any avenue that I wanted to pursue, especially if it had anything to do with art. I feel very fortunate to have grown up in Litchfield, working with my parents and siblings on Natticook Farm. That was the time when Litchfield was Route 3A and the farms. Let's see, there was Colby, Century, Natticook, McQuestion, Westview, DeRocher, Parker, Campbell, Broadview, Redonis. Wilson's came after that. And I probably missed some, but those were the ones that were around when I was young. As kids, teenagers, and young adults, we all worked on the farms. You never had to look far for a job. Farm life taught all of us a strong work ethic. Families socialized at the Presbyterian Church, the Grange Hall, and the school. Suppers, plays, dances. GMS was grades 1 through 8, only 10 classrooms when I graduated in 1969. Everybody in the town knew each other, and everybody in town helped one another. There are many memories and many stories. So about volunteering, serving your community can only have a positive impact, not only with those in need, but with your own hearts when giving back. I have thoroughly enjoyed all the projects that I have been involved in while growing up here, during my career as an art educator here, and now with retirement, right here in my own hometown. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "To be useful, honorable, compassionate, to have made some difference is that you have lived and lived well." Thank you again, everybody.
All right. Well, that's very moving. It's what a great evening to be part of this. And Pat, thank you so much for being the leader in volunteerism here in the town of Litchfield. Before we conclude tonight's ceremony, I just want to really express my sincere thank you to Laura Gandia for all the work she has done. This, from the start to finish, everything from food, getting the nomination paperwork out, meeting with Heidi, all the details, flowers, and awards. She's done all of that work, and it's a tremendous amount of work. And I've learned over the last couple of years that I think, even though Laura does it all, I think she has a secret helper, because there's no way that she moves the extension ladders around, decorates the hall. So I think her husband, Mr. Gandia, is also deserves some recognition for his work. So with that being said, we have refreshments. You saw when you walked in, there's a lot of good stuff. Again, Laura's coordinated all that. Please enjoy them. Okay, thank you for coming.